He's 7 foot tall, 320 pounds of muscle, a dancer, a former professional wrestler, and literally one of the world's biggest action movie stars. It's hard not to notice Conan Stevens. Today, this Australian calls Pattaya home, while he hones his acting career and trains at Tony's gym for a new fitness video. We caught up with Conan to hear his story. Well, we've got a big star on today's show, and I seriously mean big. He's a stunt actor based here in Pattaya and a star of several movies here in Thailand. Hi, Conan.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm great. It's good to see you again. Now, you've been working out here a lot at Tony's gym. Yeah, just a little bit. Tell me, what are you up to down here in Pattaya?
I moved from Bangkok about 4 months ago, and to tell the truth, I like the sunshine, the sea breeze. Not so much the sea itself, but the sea breeze is nice, and I'm just training for my next role at the moment.
Now, Conan Stevens is the name you go by here in Thailand. Your real name's Mark, but how did you get the name Conan?
Some friends back in Australia came home one day. I'd been working security at one of the Prime Minister's functions, and we'd done a 12-hour shift working with the National Police, and I hadn't eaten for 12 hours. I was starving. I came home and I had our regular barbecue. Pork, lamb, beef, sausages, fish and beer. And my flatmate come home and he said, this is like that scene from Conan the Barbarian where they feed him in through the cage. There's just bones and meat everywhere. And next time I went to the pub, my other flatmate had overheard that, and I was talking to some girls and they've asked my name and he's jumped in. He's Conan. And from there on it stuck.
Yeah, and it's been a good name for working too, though, hasn't it? Because it sort of fits.
It is. People remember my name and remember me, obviously.
Now, obviously, you had a background doing security. I can understand why. But in Australia, you're also a wrestling champion?
I was Australian professional wrestling champion 4 times, tag team and heavyweight. I also danced with Sydney Dance Company, which is a national ballet company, for, oh God, we did 7 return seasons total at Sydney Opera House. And I also did a couple of movies in Australia and some TV commercials.
Now, I'm trying to picture you as a dancer. I mean, was it hard to find a partner that could actually dance with you, or were you there sort of as part of the show?
No, Graham Murphy, who was the choreographer, he teamed me up with Bradley, and I played a father figure. And it's not really such a ballet, it was a modern dance. So it was set during the fall of Berlin in World War II, so it was sort of dark and evil sort of setting, and I was sort of Bradley's father figure, so to speak.
So tough guys do dance?
I can actually dance quite well, to be honest.
Now, the wrestling, obviously that's a totally opposite to the dancing. I mean, did you enjoy that? I mean, was it, I guess it's choreographed to some extent too, isn't it? Well,
the wrestling is actually like dancing. You switch leads. And when you watch wrestlers who are really good, especially in America, the guys who don't like each other, you watch them fight for the lead because there's certain rules. They can't let the audience know what's happening. They have to follow the set of rules. So you'll find that wrestling is actually very similar to dancing, and you'll swap lead. And if I was in the lead, I would then damage the guy until he could switch back, and then I would take some punishment for a little while and trying to tell the story, get the crowd involved.
What was your wrestling character?
Thunder, 7-foot Thunder.
Wow.
I was a good guy, quite popular. At the end, I turned bad, mainly out of boredom. The good guys tend to just come out and be cheered, where the bad guys come out and they work the crowd, is the terminology, and you get the crowd to hate you. So you get out there and really get involved. I have to say, it's both good and bad, but I used to be able to make children cry in the crowd. So it was good that I could get that reaction, but bad. But then when I'd lose, I'd walk out and I'd walk close and they could hit me with their plastic bottles and whatever else they had with them, so they'd get a good feeling at the end of the match.
Yeah. I mean, kids do love wrestling, don't they? Even my sons love it. It's one of those sports where there's not really any blood. It's just a lot of fun and action. Yeah. And I guess a lot of these characters end up acting like you have yourself as well.
Well, that's the ultimate dream. A lot of the guys don't make it. I actually started wrestling when I was 16 because I wanted to follow Hulk Hogan, become famous in American wrestling, and then jump over into the films from there. Obviously I wanted to act better than Hulk Hogan, and I think I've accomplished that, but I haven't achieved his paycheck yet.
Now, sitting here next to you, I mean, the audience can't really tell sitting down with you, but you are 7 foot tall.
Yes.
I mean, as an actor, I mean, the type of roles that you get, I imagine it's usually the big hero or the big bad guy. So what do you prefer?
In Thailand, it's the big bad guy, except for the movie we did recently, Bangkok Adrenaline. I think the Thai name is, and I'll probably pronounce this wrong because my tones are wrong, Kundud Sat. And I actually wrote the movie, so I'm the script writer, and I have a main role as well as a more of a comedic relief. I prefer doing something like that, which is challenging, rather than the one thing I didn't want to do is go to America and start off playing the big bad dumb guy who had like 3 words. I still don't want to do that. There's a fair chance I'll refuse unless it's like Superman 4 or Batman 5 or something like that. I couldn't say no to that, but any other movie I really would have to look at it carefully and see if I wanted to set myself as an unintelligent brute. It's hard to break the caricature.
Yeah, once you play a role like that, it's hard to get out of it, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Now, you've made your way here to Thailand. You've been here a couple of years and you've already done several movies here in Thailand. One, of course, that made you very famous with the Thai audience. Can you tell me about that one, Somtam?
Oh, Somtam. In that I played against the other 7 foot Australian wrestler, Nathan Jones. He was the big guy in the movie Troy. He also played in Tom Yum Goong, which is better known for the Thai audiences. I played opposite him. That was actually on TV the other week on, I'm not sure which channel, but it was repeating because I was getting phone calls every couple of days. You're on TV. And then I got a phone call from a friend. He said, you're on TV? And I'm like, yeah. And I got the beard and wearing a jacket. He said, no, you're wearing like a red pants and shirtless. And so that's actually, they were playing Bodyguard 2 and Somtam on rotation. Was it last month? So all around where I live, pretty much everyone knows who I am now. And then Etim Tainang, I think. My tones are wrong again. With Nose, the comedian. Yeah. That was in 7-Elevens at the same time. Bangkok Adrenaline just hit 7-Elevens now. And I'm sort of getting a name.
Bangkok Adrenaline was released in the major theatres here too, wasn't it, across Thailand? So, and did it have a good response?
It did. It actually had 7 weeks in Pattaya. It did very well in Pattaya. Unfortunately, it wasn't released in English, which was the original plan for Sukhumvit, and Pattaya would have done even better, but the distributors were worried about the English version going up on BitTorrent, and that would then damage the overseas sales. Today I'm just going to do some work for biceps, which is the top part of your arm. A lot of guys first start training, they'll train their biceps only, they'll sit on the TV with a small weight, keep going, keep going. But forget the bottom half of the arm is actually more than half of the arm, it's about 2/3 of the arm's mass. You can see the triceps are a lot bigger part of the arm. But so don't forget to train the triceps as well. Okay, these are preacher curls. Okay, in the exercise you should probably do 9 sets. That was a set then, just one go at the exercise, and do about 8 to 12 repetitions each one. Do that once a week each body part, and that's enough for a workout, enough to get fit, enough to get big if you really want to go that far.
Now, do you have any acting roles coming up that you're really looking forward to?
Possibly. Just recently I was approached with a show of interest, or expression of interest is the correct term, in an Antonio Banderas movie. Unfortunately, they chose a French fellow who's quite a lot more well known than I am. So that was a little disappointing I didn't get that, but I recently spoke to a fellow who will be doing a swords and sorcery movie that's will be well known. I can't say the name at the moment yet. I'll wait until things progress a little bit further, but if I get this role, it'll launch my career. It's been 22 years trying to get this role, so if I don't get this one, it doesn't matter, because I've got another one. I've got a horror movie which is not the same quality, but it will then launch me into the horror movie scene in America, which will still pay quite well.